Kaleido woke to the sound of a bell he didn't recognize. A pale stripe of sunlight cut across his desk. A desk? He sat upright, heart hammering, and found himself in a high school classroom. Chalk dust hung in the air. Teenagers in Navy uniforms chatted over half-finished worksheets. A poster for the Spring Culture Festival curled slightly on the wall. Everything looked ordinary. Too ordinary. A boy at the next desk grinned at him. "Morning, Kaleido. You're early today." Kaleido forced a nod, though his mouth was dry. Early today? He didn't even know the date. His fingers searched his pockets and found a wallet and a student ID card. The photo stared back at him, his own face, smiling like he belonged here. The day unfolded with mechanical precision, hallway chatter, shoes squeaking on waxed floors. And yet, something wavered. The wall clock ticked unevenly, the second hand jerking forward in double steps. A trio of girls laughed in the courtyard, but the echo of their voices came a half-beat late, like bad audio over perfect video. A sparrow fluttered past the window twice in the exact same arc, wings catching the sun at the same angle. Kaleido tried to swallow the unease. He sat through lessons, copied formulas, even managed to answer a question in literature. But the taste of lunch vanished from his tongue the instant he chewed. It was as if this world only pretended to have texture. After the final bell, he lingered at his locker, wondering if he should confront someone, anyone, about these strange misfires in reality. That was when he heard the voice. "Kaleido." He turned. A girl stood a few paces away, silver streaks threading her black hair, eyes deep as galaxies. She wore the same Navy uniform, but the edges of her figure shimmered ever so slightly, as if light had trouble deciding where she ended. "You don't remember me," she said, soft but certain. Do we know each other?" "Yes, and no." Her gaze sharpened. "You need to follow me." Now Kaleido hesitated. "Why?" "There isn't time to explain." Her tone was calm, but beneath it pulsed urgency, the weight of inevitability. "Please." Before he could argue, she grasped his wrist. Her grip was warm and unexpectedly strong, like an anchor against a rising tide. She led him through stairwells and maintenance corridors he was sure hadn't existed that morning. Windows flickered with impossible colors, hallways stretching a heartbeat too long, door frames bending when he wasn't looking. His breath quickened. "Where are we going?" he demanded. "To the only place still real enough," she replied without turning. "My name is Nixie. I'm a friend. From before this world was stitched together. Before what?" They emerged into an abandoned observatory atop the school. Dust motes floated as if underwater. At the room's center hung a wound in the air itself, a tear of swirling light and shadow, humming with a low, resonant thrum that sank into his bones. Kaleido stepped closer, despite the instinct screaming to run. The tear mirrored countless versions of him. Older, younger, stranger. "What is that?" His voice was barely a whisper. "The beginning of the end," Nixie said. "A fracture between dimensions. If it spreads, every universe, every possibility will collapse into nothing." He stared at her, the words sliding through disbelief. "Why show me?" "Because you're not just a student trapped in a dream. You've traveled before, across realities you've forgotten. You are the man lost in dimension. And this tear, it followed you here." A cold weight settled in his chest. The fracture pulsed, and he felt it answer the rhythm of his own heartbeat. Nixie's voice softened. "This world is a veil, Kaleido. Soon it will unravel. You must remember who you were, before everything ends." The tear flared, washing the observatory in blinding white. For a single instant he felt every possible self, every life he might have lived, stretch thin like threads of glass. Then darkness, and in that darkness her voice lingered, a whisper curling around his mind. "Remember who you are. Before it's too late,